And we are back! Still with round 1 of Rising Squid Land's top bracket. Welcome back if you're watching us on stream. I am Pat here with Zari.
Hello! And we are about to get into some deaths, probably, I don't know, versus Bagetti Bolonato, but here we go. Hello to the crowd! Absolutely hype out here. These have been some amazing matches and everyone is really, really enjoying them. But yes, we are, I think, shortly going to be getting into these matches once everyone is readied up. It is going to be some deaths, probably, I don't know, versus Bagetti Bolonato.
Indeed. And some deaths probably, I don't know. I mean, we're gonna call them some deaths. It's we don't know stream like that, and yeah. I mean, it's Toyoben, Okami, Storm, and Promano. I mean, very famous players. They have shown us a lot. Bagetti Bolonato with Akio Desert, Eric, and Mevlingo.
We've seen some really good games from both of these teams yesterday, so it'll be amazing to see how they stack up against each other in these maps here. We've already been talking today about how snowbally they can be, though.
Yeah, how snowbally, how much you have fights, how much you have flanks on these map modes. And like, I expect to see more flanks, more fights, and more, hopefully, tacticalers to get back right in as you can.
Because that definitely worked very, very well for Matthew Fox Emoji in the last set that we were watching. So it's definitely a very good strat to make sure that regardless of what happens whenever you dive on the enemy, you're going to be back really soon to do it all over again.
Yeah, and speaking of tacticaler, it is very warm here in the Netherlands. Remember to hydrate, protect yourself from the heat. I mean, Zari, we had AC in our hotel, and that was life-saving.
It really, really was, but some people did not have that option, and I really, really feel for them because it made all the difference. But yes, it is so, so warm here. So the teams are going to be getting into this. Make sure you stay hydrated, everyone. Especially if you're playing some Splatoon.
Oh yeah. Teams are getting in. We see a carbon roller on the side of some devs. Wiper to counter it for Bagetti Bolonato.
And there is a ballpoint on the side of some deaths, but a Nautilus coming out from Bagetti Bolonato, which is very much an interesting choice here. Can definitely work, but we're going to have to see what the teams do with this.
Yeah, the point sensor plus the torpedo for Bagetti Bolonato is going to allow them to know constantly where the carbon is. The carbon doesn't care, gets a trade. And right now it's 1 versus 1. It's a wipeout in favor of Bagetti Bolonato. They're gonna get that first push. They are blazing to the checkpoint 1, looking to establish control and get it as fast as they can.
Yep, yes, and that big bubble will mean that they are going to be able to get through that checkpoint. They do have to be careful of that carbon, though. They are right below the tower. They do get taken out, and there's that checkpoint, but the only one left was that junior, so that is a delayed wipe, and some devs will be able to start a push of their own.
Yeah, some devs back in the game. They have control of the map now, thanks to that wipeout. You need to push the tower now, and the specials are gonna come in for some devs.
But that's
just
not...
Storm! Storm with the lone inkjet, trying to delay things, everything. Getting a pick.
Getting two!
Getting two!
And still living?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness!
Storm just holding things there and now pushing with the ballpoint, not really caring. The tower is gonna go back, come back to the checkpoint and try to get some devs not really caring that they're almost wiped. Like, okay, we're still going to push, we just need one player to do that, and that's Storm.
Yep, yes indeed, but that will be Storm and three players altogether for some deaths, all back at spawn, so that will definitely be the end of that push. But the carbon is still here, still ready to cause absolute chaos.
Some deaths was 1 second away from completing that checkpoint. right now Bagetti has some breathing room. Several players from Sundev are back in their spawn, and Bagetti has one still checkpoint advantage.
Yep, but yet again, when you look at those scores, all that Sundance need to do to get the lead is to get through that checkpoint, which, yes, they've got to do again, but it's also, they've not got much more beyond that to do before they get lead. Though they definitely would want a stronger lead than that, but that will mean that they're not going to be on the tower, and they're not going to be able to get through that checkpoint yet, still. But they're going to be, there we go, that is it. They are through that checkpoint, and that does mean they have their lead, and they're able to keep pushing and get a much, much stronger one than Bagetti Bolonato had.
And after unrelenting attacks, Sundevs finally gets that lead, gets that checkpoint. Now it's just the Carbon moving back, trying to give jumps to the team, trying to be stealthy in mid, but that's not going to work with torpedoes.
Nope, but it does not stop them from being able to get on that tower and take the person out that was on there. And there's currently only 2 people on Bagetti Bolonato that are far enough forward, but they're just getting pushed back now. They're just getting pushed back into their spawn, which is not helpful because they cannot get the tower.
Yes, and Sundevs back on the attack, looking to extend that lead, looking to get another checkpoint for themselves. And that inkjet from Storm is probably gonna do it. It's just one player left in the bubble. And they're keeping the oh no, they're getting picked now, and that means the tower is going to advance to the final checkpoint, and Storm still on there, still doing so much with the ballpoint.
And literally just killing player after player there. They just were not able to get to that tower, which, fair enough, we were talking about how snowbally that can be. And once you get past that first checkpoint and you're able to get settled at that second one, it can be very, very hard to get to the tower and get them off and out of spawn. So, well played to both teams, but that first game is going to go to some deaths, and that does mean we're moving on to Flounder Heights Splat Zones.
Yeah, it is Flounder Heights Splat Zones. I feel like this is a good map to get back in, because if your team manages to win one fight, you can take control of top mid, and you can get in. And we've seen Bagetti Bolonato. They have won fights in this first game. They have pushed the tower. They have got an objective. We know that they can win that single fight that can get you so many points on this map mode, but they need to find a way, when they manage to get the advantage of Sundev, to really find a way to push them out. And that's what they have to do if they want to win on Flounder Heights.
Yep, yes indeed. If they're able to keep them off of mid for long enough, we've seen that before, then they're able to, then they can keep the splat zones well long enough to actually get the points that they need. But it just depends on if they're able to defend it, you know? But also, that also means they need to get to it.
They need to get to it, but I mean, they showed us that they could take tower. They had the first engagement. They had the opening for themselves, and the opening on Flounder Heights is so important, because it can give your team 50 points for free.
Yes.
And then some more if you can initiate lockouts. And Bagetti Bolonato showed us that they had great defense. Some devs really struggled to get that first checkpoint. They had to go at it several times, because constantly Bagetti Bolonato was putting pressure on the exact right player to make sure that the push couldn't go forward, and that some devs had to arrange, change things to keep going. So Bagetti Bolonato can very much get it.
I will also mention, I'm pretty sure that's 3 fizzy bombs on the side of some deck. Which I just noticed that out of the corner of my eye.
Oh yeah. Ooh, and that's going to be 2 versus 1 right now. Some devs. 1 versus 2. It's just Storm holding the zones, but Storm with the inkjet is going to keep the zones blue. The jumps are coming in for some devs, and it looks like some devs is going to get that first lockout.
Yep, yes indeed. And they're already working through those points. They've already got over 30 of them here. This is Bagetti Bolonato really needs to figure out how they're going to get up here and back to the zones, because as you were saying, already 50 points for free, but that is 2 people down from a single shot there from the Trizuka.
Yeah.
That will absolutely help them, but there's only the junior left. They are going to be able to flip the zones, but they're the only ones in mid.
Yeah, but that means you get lots of super jump for your team. And now Bagetti Bolonato has to fight a barrage of fizzy bombs with a burst bomb on top. Oh, but it looks like they are doing just that and keeping their bearings.
Yes, until just there now. That's 2 down, which will mean that's going to be very, very difficult. Would have been very, very difficult for them to keep that those zones in mid. There is the it's currently 3v3 at the moment, but yet again, Bagetti Bolonato, due to how this map is designed, is on the back foot here. They need to go up high to try and find the picks they need to get back in, and this is not looking good. That's a 3 down for Bagetti Bolonato. Not looking good at all. There's no penalty points on the side of Some Death. They are just working through them.
Some Death is so comfortable, and when you are back like that, getting the picks doesn't guarantee you the zones, and getting the zones guarantees that you're going to fight from all sides at the same time. And Some Deaths right now doing such good defense. That's going to be game 2 going for them.
Yep, yes indeed. That will be Some Deaths taking the second game of the set in a knockout. Very, very strong from them. This is kind of what we were expecting, right? If one team can just hold top mid, you just kind of, it just be like that. That is definitely what Flounder Heights is known for.
Yep, indeed. And we are back to Sturgeon Rainmaker.
Yep, yes we are. And definitely, if we see anything similar to last set, one team may or may not get a very, very solid start, and then be the other team fighting to keep up. Or it could mostly stay in mid, but that never lasts that long.
Yeah, things go as fast as they can, and Some Deaths, they have shown us that they are really minding the objective at all time. Even when there's a fight, even when there's an even fight, Some Deaths is making sure that the zone was their color during that last game. And the thing I expect and I hope to see a lot is that Carbon getting every pick, flank, ledge that they can. This is a great map for that. Come on.
Yes, it is. And we're getting into this. And reminder, this is match point right now. If Some Deaths is able to take this, that is the set. But alright.
Sorry, is that an Octobrush?
I think it is.
It is an Octobrush, and I love to see it.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, Zipcaster definitely looking to try and be in behind Some Deaths and maybe cause some chaos. We have been seeing a lot from Brushes today, even already, just from Spore. So if they're able to do work with this, that could be very, very helpful. This is quickly flipping one way or another. There's just a Carbon left and they're pushing.
Oh yeah, of course the Carbon is gonna grab a Rainmaker because they're the only one. That's a quick checkpoint for Some Death.
Yes.
What a team fight, just 7 players going down. And the Carbon of all people being the last player standing. Because yeah, of course, the Carbon's your anchor.
Yeah, exactly. That's normally what you see being the one to survive. What an inkjet shot. Oh my goodness, there's only one person on Bagetti Bolonato left alive. They are slowly coming back in and they're able to defend, but for how long? Oh, very, very nicely done there with the Zipcaster. They've got to get this Rainmaker out of there because there's too many people, but that's not going to be possible, and that will be a wipeout. Oh dear.
Sorry, you called for a big push right out the bat. And that's what we get. Some Death.
They're
Oh, come on, another wipe, and that's going to be a KO. What a game. Some devs showing us they're not here to win quarters-finals. They're here to get to the next. They're here for semis. They're here for finals. Some devs, they're here to win, and they're not wasting any time doing so.
Yep, they are raring to go, and definitely going through to the next, was it the semis? Quarters. No, next one, semis.
Oh yeah, they're going
next
to
one,
semis. They'll be fighting Matthew Fox emoji there.
Which is gonna be quite a matchup, but absolutely. What a set we just saw. Bagetti Bolonato still able to hold their ground at different points, but just the sheer aggression and force of some devs was just too much.
Yeah, very, very commanding. Like, what a performance by some dev. That was a lesson on how to really get the picks. And that first team fight, if that first team fight goes like one more bomb going one other way, it's a player from Bagetti that's the last one standing, and now we have a completely different game.
Yes.
but it's just these tiny things, and especially it's this ability to do the best out of these tiny things that gave some devs the opportunity to get it. But we're gonna have a short break.
Yep, yes indeed, as we get the next matchup set up. If I'm correct, it's gonna be Dickerman versus Frostburn?
Yes, I think so, yeah.
I think so. So absolutely stick around, don't be going anywhere. These are going to be some really good games, but we are going to that short break right now, so see you in a little bit.